Hi, and welcome back to Julie's Orchids. This is episode 3. We've made it to 3 whole episodes, and I'm quite tickled with that. I think we're getting better with each and every episode. We'll see if this one goes long. We're still getting a lot of coaching and help from my friend Maram. And I also want to send a shout out to Ed at Ed's Orchids, because we're going to put some of his information I have learned today to help save this new plant that I bought at the nursery today. You'll find out more about this in the upcoming video. So as I mentioned in my last showcase episodes that we're showcasing slipper orchids, and slipper orchids do come in 2 varieties, Paphiopedilums, which we did in our last episode, and today we're looking at Paphiopedilums. Now, what's the difference between the 2? Well, basically where they come from in the world. Paphiopedilums come from the Americas, South and Central America, and Paphiopedilums can be found throughout Asia. I have a few in my collection, a couple of species. This one here, according to the nursery, is supposed to be a species of some kind, but they couldn't find the tag, so I got it for 20 bucks. And anytime you find something this beautiful for only $20, well, you pick it up. So, given that, let's have a look at the Paphiopedilums. This is a no ID Paphiopedilum that I purchased today from the local nursery. I was told it was a species, and I got it for 25 bucks because they've lost the card and don't know what it is, but I was told it is a species. So we'll get nice up close to this beautiful flower. And if anyone has an idea of what this might be, I'd really appreciate to find that out. So I was quite happy when I brought this home. I knew it was going to have some problems. I noticed while I was at the nursery some mealybugs. I haven't seen any on this one yet, but we'll just have a peek here and see. I had a visitor on a leaf. I've made some video of that, so I don't have high hopes for that flower lasting very much longer, because this is going to get a complete and total repot, and hope that these roots will come back, because there was bush snail on this, so they've munched those roots quite nicely away, and looks like there's some other pest damage, but the leaves are quite beautiful, and we are going to attempt to rehabilitate this beauty. Well, we just brought this one home from the nursery. Boy, is it gorgeous. Lovely bloom. However, I had it sitting on the table and I noticed we have company. That's a bush snail. So most unfortunately, this will get repotted and we'll probably lose that bloom. This is the species Paphiopedilum charlesworthii. It was first identified by Rolf Pfister in 1894. This can be found in Assam, India, Myanmar, Thailand, and southwestern China at elevations of 1,200 to 2,000 meters, in deep shade on western or northwestern facing slopes. It is considered a cool-growing epiphyte. It can be found growing in the leaf mold on limestone rocks. Mine came as a seedling plant and has started growing this new leaf here since I've gotten it. As well as I have noticed deep into there, we have a new fan growing. I will include a stock image of the flower of this plant that I've taken off the internet. This is species Paphiopedilum. This species is found in southeastern Vietnam in elevations of 800 to 1,300 meters. They are found growing in granite pebbles, mossy tree trunks, usually near water, and in shady areas. This was first discovered in 1913 when it was brought to France by returning soldiers and was believed to be extinct and was not rediscovered in the wild until 1993. It is named after a 1900s French orchid enthusiast Delinat. And in the wild, the blooming is in December, but in cultivations, the plants generally bloom later from January to March or July to September in the southern hemisphere. Its flowers are supposedly fragrant. I got this one from the local nursery. When I purchased this one, this leaf here was just poking out like that leaf there. As you can see, the foliage is stunning. And I imagine I have several more years to wait for its fragrant bloom. This is Paphiopedilum. It is a primary hybrid originated by Charlesworth in 1902. It is a cross between Paphiopedilum and Chamberlainium. I got this one from Nikki Slippers, and it was shipped to me in a flower quite some time ago. You can see the dried flower spike there. I do have yellowing of the oldest fan in the back. I'm assuming that's the seedling fan, and it is the natural progression that older fans do die off as newer ones are formed. And you can see as we turn the plant around here that under my care it is putting out 1, 2 new growths. So I'm hoping the next time this one flowers and Paphiopedilums flower after their fans mature, and they only flower once from each fan. Many of them have beautiful, beautiful variegated leaves, like this one. This is Paphiopedilum. This is an orchid hybrid originated by S. Lowe in 1922 and is a cross of Paphiopedilum and Paphiopedilum. Again, I purchased this one from Nikki Slippers. I'll include a link down below. You can see some yellowing of the oldest fan. This one is a flowering size plant. I did not get it in flower. We have another fan growing with some beautiful leaves. These are quite sturdy leaves. And then this fan has been growing in size and is now growing this new leaf. This one has gotten quite bigger. And happy to say that we've got 1 and 2 more growths coming up on this one. The remnants of another dying oldest fan there. What I'm happy to say with this one is it's quite nicely showing us Paphiopedilum roots. Now they have very special roots in that they're brown and fuzzy, and they have kind of yellowy growing root tips. So you can see this one is going quite happily in my medium. As you can see, I have it in bark, perlite, vermiculite, 2 different sizes of bark, small and medium, as well as with all my terrestrials, my paphs and my frags. And there is a equal part of cheap potting soil in there as well. So equal parts cheap potting soil, medium orchiata bark, small orchiata bark, perlite, vermiculite, and a couple beads of slow release fertilizer. This is Paphiopedilum de Citron. It's an orchid hybrid originated in 2011, and it is a cross between Paph Gold Dollar and Paph Primulinum. This poor little guy has been around with me for a bit and has suffered a clumsy fall where I dropped it and proceeded to get a lot of damage to the leaves, which caused some rotting, stem rotting, and I thought I was going to lose the whole thing. This one lost its bottom leaves, but I treated it. I got some 6% hydrogen peroxide, gave it a little bit of a dusting, rinsed that off, put some cinnamon on it, trimmed off the dead leaves, and that was 2 months ago. Seems to be doing just fine. As you can see here, I had some damage from the nursery. Came that way, but these things come from over east, and I'm in the west, and they have to get treated with very special substances. I get these from Nikki Slipper. There are very few growers over east that can ship plants into Western Australia. So any of the plants I get not locally really go through quite a trip to get here. This one is doing well. Again, we've got on this fan, which lost also its bottom leaf due to that weird rot, but you can see we have a new leaf coming up right there. And much to my delight, we have that new fan growing right in there. So I think this one might make it, even though it's been through the ringers with me. Well, this is the Paphiopedilum that I refer to as Winston. Winston Churchill is in its name, and so Winston just seemed quite appropriate for this stately plant. I bought this at the local nursery. I bought this as a flowering size plant, but I had it in flower when I bought it. You can see the remnants of its flower spike there, the oldest fan, the second fan. I bought it when this fan was quite a bit smaller. This leaf hadn't grown, neither had that one, and now we have this leaf, and I'm hoping that that leaf indicates maturity, and we'll get a flower spike from that one. And then when I was watering it the other day, I noticed, to my absolute delight, Winston's given me another little fan right there. So we do have a little bit of damage at the very bottom here from the nursery, but for the most part the leaves are gorgeous, very healthy, nice and glossy. This is another nice flowering size plant I bought from my local nursery. I did not get this one with a flower on it. I got it with the remnants of that spike. This back fan here has been growing quite nicely. I got it with just this leaf sticking out, and now this one is going along. As well, this one has grown this, and now this for me. Very healthy leaves. And I bought this lovely Paphiopedilum again at the local Easy Grow nursery. I bought this about the same time I bought Winston. You can see the very oldest fan in the back there has got a yellowing leaf. It's starting to go. You can also see that it's adjusting quite nicely to my growing medium, a nice root growing there. I've grown this new fan since it's been in my care. And we'll turn it around because we have two directions of new growth. This one is coming up well as the fans in between are maturing. So I'm hoping that means we're going to have quite a bloom show with this one in the foreseeable future. So this one's also a very gorgeous and healthy plant that I got from my local nursery some time ago. This one is my tragedy. I bought it in bud. It's a beautiful bud. Big, thick, fat, healthy bud. And then I broke it. Broke the flower spike. I was gutted. But, as you can see in the back there, I've got a nice new fan growing. And we'll zoom in right down here and have a look at another new fan growing. Couldn't be happier. Let's have a look at this one. This one seems to have sprouted up unbelievably quickly. I don't really remember when this one started. Had a little bit of a bug on there. Got that fixed. But it seemed to have just rocketed up to this point over a matter of a month or two, and now it is going a bit more slowly. And again, you can see how nice and green and thick and shiny and glossy these beautiful leaves are. And I am very much so happy we've got 2 directions of growth coming on this, because that will make up for my idiot being and breaking that flower spike off. So be careful with your plants, particularly your Paphiopedilums. Don't accidentally break the flower spike, because then you have a long time to wait for your next flower. Alright, well that was the showcase of Paphiopedilums in my collection, and today we went to the nursery and bought this beautiful bloom. Sadly to discover that the root system had been completely eaten away by bush snails, that we did catch one crawling on the leaf. So a upcoming video will feature this one being repotted, and possibly a small series to see if we save this to track the progress. I've never had a path with quite this bad of root damage before, so we'll see if we can save it, or if the Grim Reaper will come and collect this one. Hopefully we can save it, because it is quite a beautiful bloom. That was the episode for today, so thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. A subscribe would be nice, and you guys have a happy, healthy, and safe day. Cheers!